You've got a cut, and apparently some others.
Yeah. With my finger here, with my nail.
That's fine. We just wanted to know.
I want to hurt myself. Yeah. Good night.
It'll be okay.
One of the scariest things I've seen, I genuinely mean this, one of the scariest things I've seen is the well-being and mental health pop up everywhere. And it is scary in terms of men for sure, but in terms of men performing really high performance roles, owners of companies, football managers. There's no more pressurized an industry than this. Everything you do is lived out in public scrutiny and judgment. You're pulled to pieces on TV. You're pulled to pieces with slow-mos and analysis of everything you do, from what you wear, to your hairstyle, to your tactics, to your result, everything. What a privilege. And you get paid well, by the way. You get paid well. It's gladiatorial. So if you go back to the Colosseum, entertainers, it's Maximus, so you're not entertained.
It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. Because the moment you do, but you don't talk like you forgot where you came from. Look at you talking. It takes courage.
So there comes a burden with that. And the burden is you've got to win, you've got to perform. And the great leaders, you don't want pulling out of that hole. You want to sit in it. The worst thing you can do is start chucking sandwiches over the fence.
Someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you climb down. I know what it's like down here. And you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no. You want a sandwich?
As the great Brené Brown says here, empathy and sympathy are two different things. Climb down into the hole. How you doing, brother? Well, I'm fucked. I'm not sleeping. I am questioning everything. Shit, look at all these fucking marks. Drinking, yeah, a few glasses there. And well, it's okay because all the players are loaded up on snooze. Let's get up.
Hey.
You know, only a few weeks ago, I found myself working with a team abroad, and it was fascinating. We flew to a game in another country, and I was standing with the coaches. We got off the airport, and I'm like, where are the players? And I looked through, they were in another queue, something to declare. Now, bearing in mind, I'm thousands of miles from home, and I've got nothing to declare. I'm like, how are the guys got something to declare? What is that? One of the coaches said, oh, it'll be the snooze. They've got to hand that in over the border there. Like, the snooze, yeah. And there must have been 50 tubs of this shit stacked up. And if you're not watching this, snooze is a tobacco pouch, as you've seen in the clip then. It's the most used thing in professional football. It's more used than Powerade, I would say. It's more used than, any of the health drinks. It numbs you. It numbs your feelings. It's a high dosage of nicotine, and it takes the edge off. Well, what are you taking the edge off? The truth, the feelings. Guardiola remains feeling.
At the end, from the fans, can you understand that? Do you think your players deserve that, especially after everything you've achieved?
Last game against Tottenham with 0-4, they were there, supporters, they applaud. Of course, they're disappointed. Of course, we understand it. Come here not to remember the success in the past. Come here today, see the team win and perform well. And they support us all the time. When we go away, our fans are amazing. They're traveling and it's nothing to do. Of course, they are completely right to express what they feel. Absolutely.
Feeling everything. He's not tapping out of any press conference. He's not tapping out. He's feeling. And the biggest danger that I have seen time and time again with those who mean well but are ignorant. They are ignorant because they haven't been there. So I don't know what they've studied or their passion is to help people. A lot of that's linked to codependency. You often wonder they should probably do a lot of coder work. The rescuing of others is unhealed stuff in ourselves. I'm not looking to rescue anybody. I have a high level of empathy and compassion. I always have had. Deeply sensitive. So, you know, I'm a helper. I want to help. I want to help you win. I want to help you perform. I want to help you be the best version of yourself. But I only do that by being the best version of myself. I only help my 4 children by my son looking out the window at 5:30 a.m. and I'm crawling out of an ice bath in the dark into the sauna and lifting weights in the fucking dark. He looks at me on the boxing bag. Is this what we do here, Dad? Yeah, this is what we do here. Why are you doing that, Dad? Because I'm 46, I need to remain the best physical shape I can be, within reason, and I need to suffer early in the morning. Why are you doing that, Dad? Because I need to perform. Why, Dad? Well, look at the house. Look at what we have in our life. Look at the blessings we have. I need to keep winning. And if I lose, we are all fucked. Do you understand that? Your mother, your sisters, we're all fucked. So we have to keep winning here. Let's get that out. So I have to win early in the day. And I have to continue to feel deeply, and it hurts deeply. That is intensity. Guardiola's teams play with intensity, extreme depth of feeling. He doesn't want to numb it. He doesn't want to escape it. He will look you in the eye, and that's what we're doing here. And it's why he just laughs, some self-harm, yeah. And all the people quickly judging this. And I had this with a group recently. I sat with these men judging the players for taking snooze, and I sat with other people for, you know, judging people quickly. What was the greatest thing when I sat with these men? He said, tell me about your sexual escapisms. I said to this group of men, what do you mean? Do you masturbate? Do you look at porn? Do you cheat? Do you cruise on internet? Do you do stuff? Well, all of a sudden everyone was looking at their feet. I said, I'm sober in that world for a long time. You know, so, but I understand the escapism from it. And so you're about to judge one thing, yet you're doing something and you're justifying, well, that's slightly different, and I'll do that in the shadows. Because the sexual stuff's really interesting. Because people can hide it left, right and centre. You can't hide scratches. You can't hide weight from alcohol. You can't hide a coke addiction with your twitching in your eye, your pupils. You can hide your sexual stuff. It's like gambling. You can hide that. So it starts to become really interesting when people start judging this stuff. You certainly don't want to rescue a man like that. You don't want to be... I mean, look at the journalist at the end of the interview. You'll be okay. Because what he's doing at that point, Pep Guardiola is holding up a mirror to that man and all of those journalists. This is what we do here. This is where winning starts and ends, with a complete accountability, and it will torture you and you will wrestle.
Me corrigió mi hija, porque yo le dije que era mi vida. Y ella dijo, no, tu vida somos nosotros. Tenía 4 años, pero bueno, tenía razón.
To go to Jordan Peterson's new book, I haven't got it here, for those with wrestle with God. Every day is a wrestle with God. The devil and the God, you sit them side by side. All these people talking about excitement. I don't know about excitement. The devil and God. Consciousness and unconsciousness. Whatever any other religions and doctrines will call their light and dark. But it's magnificent from Guardiola. It's the very reason he is the most successful manager ever. Because of his ability to hurt and struggle and wrestle that deeply. You don't want saving. You don't want rescuing, and you want to boundary the shit out of anybody trying to do that. Be very careful of those pushing breath work, ice water work, sauna work, grounding work, morning disciplines, gratitude writing. Be very careful of these people. And by the way, I do all of these things. They're in my toolkit, and I pick and choose them during the week. They're incredible tools, but that's all they are. It's like pulling a hammer and chisel out your emotional and spiritual toolkit. But they don't solve anything. And when you're in the pain, you don't want to just do some breath work. You want to sit with the pain.
Only when we know our own darkness can we sit in the dark with others. And I'll just tell you a very quick aside. This completely changed how I parent my kids. I had a real habit when my children were suffering and, you know, sitting in the proverbial dark, but sometimes also sitting in the dark of their rooms crying, that I would run in and flip on the light and make things better. You know, and sometimes, depending on how bad it was and how sad or distraught they were, it would almost be ridiculous what I would do. Like, come on, it's a Thursday, and maybe we'll go to Galveston for the weekend, and you know, just really trying to flip the light on. And I remember the first time after I started putting this into practice, Ellen was in her room, the lights were actually out, she was crying, she had a really hard brain problem, it was middle school, and I remember going in there, like, you know, saying literally, don't turn on the light, don't fix it, don't turn on the light. And what has happened over the years, the power of sitting with your child in the dark and showing them that they can sit in pain and be okay, as opposed to rushing to fix it or turn on the light. And it dawned on me at that moment that it's not our job to fix it with our kids. It's our job to teach them how to sit in pain. Because so much of what we see is people who don't know how to tolerate pain, inflicting pain on others, as opposed to sitting with pain and learning how to be with it. And that's much harder, I think, especially as a parent, if you think your job is to make things better versus sitting with people in the dark.
I'm gonna say it like this: the higher power gave you more. When there's more given, more is expected. You understand that?
But it's the pressure, though.
I understand the pressure, but God built us different. Did you just tell me that?
I'm 23.
So sometimes there's a lot put on us, but it's put on us because we're the ones that can take it. Jared may not think he can sometime. Jared may get messed up sometime, but Jared can wear these shoes. That's why Jared has it. You understand me?
But Jared ain't asked for it.
Too bad. Jared has a destiny that Jared can't run from. And Jared ain't no coward, I already know that. Right? So Jared may as well make up his mind and let's go. You gotta ride that horse, son. I'm sorry. You gotta ride that horse. I rode it. You ain't gotta ride it till the wheels come off, but you gotta ride it. You understand me? You gotta ride it till you get where you wanna be in life, then you can get off of it. But we're gonna ride that horse. That's just what we gotta do, all right? My man.
Because the pain's dragging you somewhere. Deeper, deeper, deeper. It was Carl Jung who said, people don't find God because they don't look low enough. What a line. I am a man of huge faith. I found it in the absolute abyss and darkness of homelessness, bankruptcy and divorce in 2011 and the end of my football career, of which I've been in love with, infatuated with from the age of 7. And at 33 it finished. I didn't want rescuing from that hole. I wanted to sit in all of it. And I wanted to find why I was there. Fear. And an avoidance of the truth. And when I sat with the truth, I had nowhere to take it. There was no faith. There was no faith. You only find God when you look low enough, whatever God means to you. I quite like Jordan Peterson's breakdown as the highest moral value system is God. The truth is God.
If you don't pick up and carry your cross, you will be crushed by the weight of it.
That we are pathetic, weak, tiny, insignificant grains of sand who amount to nothing if we live at best 85, 90 years, but every chance I'm 46. I could be gone in the next year, 2 years, dementia, cancer comes in, I'm gone by 50, colon cancer. Whatever kicks in, you leave your 4 kids and they've got no father. That's the truth. That's where we find humility. So Guardiola here is sitting with the truth in what an incredible human being he is. And all the well-being and do-gooders jumping around today. And the problem with it is they're all going to drag you out of it. Positive self-talk. Be kind to yourself, Pep. You're not a loser. You're a winner. You know, look at all the great things you've done. If you retire today, look at what you've done. Do you know what that shit does? It causes more shame for the ultra-competitive being. More shame. It's not what you want to hear. You want someone to go, oh yeah. Fuck me, man. 3 goals you conceded in the last 15 minutes. Fucking hell. Team a direct reflection of the coach. That's What's the coach? Is the coach jittery? Are you on edge? Are you transferring a message of hang on to the result? We all need to win. Let's break all this down. What's going on in here? The wrestling. Socrates the great philosopher, was a wrestler. So I really enjoyed seeing this today, as I enjoy all the Guardiola stuff. He doesn't run and he doesn't hide. And everyone who's trying to play with his strategy can't do it. They lack the intensity, they lack the bravery. So until you get the intensity and bravery, you can do what the fuck you want. 1 at the back, 2 at the back, 6 at the back, 4 up top, 1 in there. Do what you want. Same in business. You have all the strategies you want. If you lack intensity, if you lack bravery, you're done. It's irrelevant. So his work continues to be profound. I'm glad he's struggling. I'm glad he's suffering. What a privilege it is to be in such pain, because it's a chance to go deeper, discover ourselves more, boundary the hell out of all the do-gooding, well-being, mental health experts trying to rescue you from the hole. No.
Christ says his burden is light. And what does that mean? It means that there's really nothing that can provide abundance and security like the truth. So that's the lightness part of it. But the cross part of it is you have to decide not to shrink away from anything. You don't get to live in a pumpkin shell. Christ comes back at the end of time, and he doesn't reserve his wrath for the sinners. He reserves his wrath for people who sit on the fence.
You just crave the people who can go, oh no, I understand. And I think that's why, look, I'm posting less and less now because I'm busier, but, I think it's why I know it's why me sharing my message over the last 2017, where it'll be 7 years, nearly 8 years of being on social media, has created such identification for the leaders. The more I do this and the deeper I get, the more the dynamic of the people who reach out to me changes. It now is the head coach. It now is the owner of the business. That typically I look at who I work with today to even who I worked with 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years. It's a completely different dynamic. Because I am at my most comfortable when there's most on the line. I'm at my most comfortable when you've got 2 games and you're getting fired, when you're down the last 2 quarters and the banks are tightening the noose, when you've risked the house on a deal and it's not cut. I'm most comfortable there. Because it's in that darkness that I found faith and living with faith, and that requires vulnerability and authenticity. And the greatest compliment I receive is how authentic I am. So what I admire most about Pep, what an incredible example he is, and I have no doubt he will turn this round, because he's not making excuses. He's not going to strategy. He's going deeper into the chasm within. And leaders like that cannot be understood by any mental health experts or well-being experts or anything, unless that person has the same soul, level of depth, level of intensity, and has had solutions for navigating it.
Time goes on, we lose fights, we lose people we love, we lose our hair, and then we lose our life. It's all a loss. But from all these losses, we learn so much, and all the experiences that we learn it's unconceivable. It's just beautiful. Life is beautiful, even at its worst. It's beautiful.